eVTOL Weekly, episode 6. My name's Ian.
And I'm Reese.
And we're going to add Dylan to the chat. Dylan, how are we getting on?
Hello, Dylan. How's it going?
Hey, doing well. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Are you all good, mate?
Hey. So I'm real. Pleasure, guys. Face to face, finally. How are y'all today?
No, very well. Very well. It's good to meet you. Finally put a face to the name.
As well, Reese. As well. Sorry, my 3-year-old took over the house, so I was like, I gotta come find a hideout spot so I don't got the background as cool as you guys going, but it will work for today. Yeah. But 100%. It's great, guys. From a day, I came in a little bit late, but from a day that just kind of was here, there, less than or whatever. It's nice to have this to come and check in and kind of have it be a break from the day and listen to you guys talk about Archer and Joby and all the updates, and it's been really cool. So yeah.
Perfect.
So you're heaviest in Archer, aren't you? Or have you a position in Joby as well?
Between the two, absolutely Archer. For me, it was kind of more of just like a inside single day one. So
okay, yeah.
I think initially it was, I was looking at the two, and it was the design of Archer. It just drew me a little bit more towards that company.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So then, I've held a little Joby here and there. I would say with, when you're watching the stock each day, you can kind of see those channels they're trading in. So not for any big dollars or anything, but Joby might be a quick flipper, as opposed to Archer is the one where it's like, oh, I've held more shares at a certain time. Why'd I get rid of them for this or that? Yeah.
So how did you feel about what we said earlier? Are you happy with how they are progressing when it comes to all their PR announcements? I know it was actually you that shared that, wasn't it? Usher was in one of their adverts.
So that was actually going to be one of my questions, y'all, too. So that was actually that is also what got me most interested in Archer, because I was very curious about the timeline of that commercial, and I couldn't remember if it was like an old Super Bowl commercial. But again, why would they have done it 2020, 2021 with really no mission to bring this product, or bring this mission to virtue, to bring it to light. So really the PR I've seen through Instagram, through Adam, as well as just Archer, the PR team is just ramped. I would say almost a daily to bi-daily at this point. I believe that they are in that, but I believe they're in that Davos conference, which seemed to be a bit more tech geared. So it was nice to see that Archer, planted their foot. So I don't know if Joby's down there as well, or kind of who would be more hardware players when it seems to be, to me, a software conference. But I think the PR has been great. Adam's been great, and Archer's been great getting that out.
I think that's something we were mentioning earlier about Archer's PR is just, I think it's a different level. Like I think Joby have maybe done better in terms of letting us know where they are in terms of type certification. But then Archer's PR is just head and shoulders above. Like what we were saying about the earnings call. The earnings call, it's like chalk and cheese. Like from
I think, again, I'm going to reiterate, I think Joby's earnings call, don't think it was too bad. I just think it was the way it was presented. I think Joe Ben isn't great at presenting. And I think Adam is just next generation.
Yeah.
He's a generational presenter, right? Do you think Archer will get to Abu Dhabi in Q4? Or Q4 25. Do you think they're going to be operating, or do you think it'll be pushed back?
I think that there will be, my gut says at least one commercial flight will take place. I can't say scale that it will be at, but I think that they will at least launch one commercial flight, even if it may be even more PR gear, but just to hit that mark, to hit that guidance. And like you're saying on the earnings call, a lot of this is speculative talk. we're hoping that these things are going to manifest. So hearing Archer and the passion that they kind of delivered through that in their guidance, and that's what they really have to stand on. They need to bring more to the order books and deliver on the guidance that they're promising. So what about you guys?
Yeah, I just feel like it's one of those. It feels like we want more and more contracts, yeah? We have that Covington, Georgia factory. We're looking at pushing out 2 aircraft per month. I just think with the amount of aircraft we're going to need for this to be actually operationally viable, we're going to need factory after factory to be produced. And I just feel like at the moment, we just haven't got the capital in place to be able to put all this infrastructure in place. Look, I am a bull long term. I think over 20 years, 25 years, I think Archer is going to be dominating. However, I do feel like quite a few people think it's going to be certification, then we're to the moon. And I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be a slow and steady process.
Yeah. I'd pretty much reiterate that. I feel like at the moment, I think we can all see it's a bit of a slow burn. And like we were saying before, they've got to navigate a completely different regulatory body for just eVTOLs. This isn't something that's been done before. They're basically rewriting the rule book, so to speak. So it's not as straightforward as just creating a helicopter nowadays where you'd be like, oh, these are what the existing rules are or regulations. Let's just follow by this. They need to go, they submit their paperwork, and then it's like, oh, actually, that's not right. That's not correct. They basically got to rewrite everything. So I could see it being maybe 2025 or Q4 of 2025 might be too. I really hope, fingers crossed. I think it'd be brilliant if it does, but I'm hoping at the very latest it'll be Q2, Q3 of 26. But long term, I think we're going to be heading in the right direction, and it's just a process of elimination. It's it's not a if, it's a when. It's just when we get past the regulation. That's the only problem I have at the moment, and that's why I just want if they could just let us behind the curtain a little bit and just say, this is what's happening and this is where we are at the moment. That would set a bit of my inquisitive mind at ease, so I could know, oh, this is actually where we are, and we know when it's going to be. Because at the moment, it literally is just we sort of hear a little bit of information and you sort of take the ball and run with it. Whereas I'd like to sort of know what they're thinking and from their expertise and their view on the world.
So question for you. So if we go with the guidance for Archer, if they're going to be doing 2 midnights a month, when were they saying about they plan to get the first one done? So let's say they get 1 to 2 done by September. So that gives about 2 a month. So let's say we get to November and they have 5 midnights. Who do you think those first ones are going to?
It's got to be. I don't think it'll be in the US. I'd be very surprised. That'd be.
You know what it is? Are they going to honor the defensive contract, or are they going to actually operate in the United Arab Emirates?
I think that's more my question.
They've promised that they're going to operate in the United Arab or in Abu Dhabi, but you can't have a contract to not honor your contract. It's catch-22.
Mm-hmm.
But are they going to change the design for the defense contract? Is it a different different vertical takeoff and landing vehicle? Is it going to be some sort of hybrid? So is that are you completely reinventing the wheel another time? So this is
I just want a lot more color around how they plan on getting this amount of vehicles out. I think it's all good news at the moment. It's PR. But when we actually break it down to the basics, it's supply and demand. And if we don't have the supply, we can't meet the demand.
But the funny thing is that the demand is there, as we can see from all these contracts.
Demand is 100% there.
So the problem is just focusing on supply and how do we get supply over the line. And the funny thing is we actually have the factory. At the moment, it's just the product that we can't sell or can't build.
But that's like they're sitting on 6 billion in a backlog, and that's only going to rise, boys.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, that's unrealized, isn't it?
Well, at the moment, they won't be able to.
I think it is unrealized, so they can't actually access this capital yet. So they all don't want to honor these contracts.
And then so if you take the factories and if you're thinking 2 a month and then they estimate out to be 650 a year, what gets them to scale up to 650? You know, is it higher? Is it a faster rate of speed of manufacturing out of the Georgia plant? Is, you know, so how are we going from 2 a month?
It seems, yeah.
To 650 a year. And then is that 650 a year? This is what I can never understand. Is this 650 a year with the 350,000 square foot factory, or is it when they upgrade it to 550,000 square foot? I don't know where the 650 figure comes from. Is it once they're fully up and running? Or do they plan on, in the near term, getting it from 2 a month up to 650 a year? Which, even at 650 a year, like, it sounds like a lot to us layman. But if I said to you that Tesla only produced 650 vehicles, you'd be laughing at me. So, like, 650 aircraft ain't that much. I just think there just needs to be a lot more production plants before this gets absolutely operationally turns into a Goliath. Yeah. And I do think it'll get there. But it's just how long is it going to take for the business to get there, and how much cash raises are we going to need?
Yeah, how many factories we need to build?
And this is where I can see where a hold rating is coming from JP Morgan when they see the price skyrocket this quick. Didn't you invest a little bit with options, don't you? How has that been treating you?
Well, now that the market is so green, I've been doing less. It was a lot more fun when you were finding the diamonds in the rough, you know?
Yeah.
So, and you know, it's that thing. I guess it's having that conviction. You know, it's like with Tesla. You know, buying that in the money option, but you're going to be putting down 2,200. You know, as opposed to buying a Archer in the money option where you might be doing 150. You know, to 350.
Yeah.
So it's been a little less into the option play as of late, but have looked for the entry. But I agree that right now, like as opposed to Rocket Lab, who's performing, you know, there's a performance behind the product. So for me with Archer, and especially at the run that it's been at, where again it was 6 to start the year last year, but dipping down in the 3s, so consolidating at the 8s to 9s depending when you got in. I mean, it's a healthy gain. And just a point back to make too, it's you know, I think I invested into this company as a commercial company that saw a eVTOL that looked like it had a military look to it, or just kind of a cooler, more stylish look than Joby. That was just me. But now, you know, and talking about it, that they do have that defense contract, you know, what takes priority to them to fulfill, and I just feel like for some reason it would have to end up being the defense side. It just seems like it would be that guaranteed money. So it does bring, to me, you know, it does bring that commercial question.
And I just don't think the military would order something without more or less a set time they're going to get it. I think there will be more or less a guarantee with the defense. Look, we will deliver however many midnight to you whenever. So I do think they will come first.
The new guy, I might say his name wrong, Hegseg, who's going to run the Pentagon, who's getting sworn. He going through one of those Senate trials or Capitol Hill trials, and he was talking a lot about how basically, so my wife works for Accenture, and they have this design lab where they'll bring in, you know, FAA, DOD, whatever, and they do these like prototypes, and you know that's like how they sell.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, mispronouncing his name, was talking about how just there's so much overhead spent where they're basically, like, I'm just going to use Lockheed as a hypothetical, where they're basically ordering this aircraft. It's not what they want. They spent 1.5 billion and then they're like, go redo it. So I think like it's going to be a lot of that, you know, Archer's really going to have to hit the mark to have these orders fulfilled. I think it's great that they got it, but I guess that just light bulbed again this change in power, not just at the top, but within who's going to represent abilities to sign or give these contracts. You know, it sounds like he's really looking for a polished product to come off the line to continue working with that company. So I think they have a tall order ahead of them.
Yeah. Sure. I think that's quite an interesting point to bring up, actually. I think because there was a bit of a scandal with Boeing, wasn't it? Where they were sort of meant to be holding the presidents and things to like ransom. So I don't know if that's sort of what tailored in with it. But I think they've got to understand there's got to be research and development surrounding this Archer aircraft. And if they are going to give them the contract, they're going to have to give them time to sort of develop it and get it to a stage where it's operational. Otherwise, it's just squandering money, isn't it?
Okay, so we now have 20 people in the stream. What I'm going to do, I am going to jump across for a second. I'll let you two keep talking, and I am going to get this giveaway ready. Is that okay? Guys, if you entered in on the giveaway, you need to let us know how many Archer or Joby shares you have, and you need to like the stream and subscribe, right? So I'll let you two keep talking. I'm going to mute myself. Is that okay?
Yeah, no bother. So, Dylan, have you do you have anything invested into Rocket Lab, or are you strictly Archer and Joby?
I got into Rocket Lab a little bit around the 22 or 25 range. So, Reese, on some stocks, I feel like I'm always on the wrong end. You know, I always don't time them. Whether it's Rocket Lab, Hood, like Clean Spark, Marathon, all those, I buy when I should sell when I should buy, you know? And it just seems like, you know, I don't know if it's just the way one's brains works or sees the timing. So no, not currently. It really kind of came out of nowhere for me. I knew of SpaceX and such. I really had not heard of this Rocket Lab company and the progression that they were making. So what got you?
Well, we actually we used to be following another YouTuber, and one of his members basically came on and just said about Rocket Lab, and then after that, me and Liam were just obsessed with Rocket Lab. It just seemed like such a great business. I like the way that Peter Beck spoke. He spoke with conviction. He gave a clear path, a clear plan, and to be fair, like that's where we sort of learned to just go along on it, because that's the same. We had the same problem as where you were, where it's like, you buy in here, and then within a few weeks, you've gone down, and then you're selling out, and then you're sitting there like, I just broke even. What was the point of like that month or something? Whereas then now that's what we sort of look with Joby and Archer, of a longer time frame, because like timing the market is harder than time in the market is better than time in the market. That's my phrase. Like that would be something I'd write down for myself. But
really quick credit to you guys. I have stuck to that, buying on the red days and just leaving alone. And so I just quick credit to you guys. That has started.
Well, the funny thing is that like we've only learned it through experience. Like the problem, you always have that FOMO where you see the green day and you get a bit carried away, and you're like, no, I want to make something. Everyone else is making money, and it's sort of counterintuitive that you see red and you think, oh, that's fear, better not jump in. But it turns out that's the best days to do it. Because when it corrects, it ends up that you're on the right side of it.
Right. So we'll do the giveaway. So guys, what we're gonna do, if you haven't already, make sure to bang that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you have your Joby and Archer shares in the chat. What I'm gonna do, Race, you think 5 memberships? You all good?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Guys, I'm going to give away 5 channel memberships. They're going to be selected at random, but they are only for people that have engaged in the channel and are subscribed. So I will get that on the way now, and hopefully it'll show them on the screen. Now, guys, you know us, we haven't streamed a lot, so I don't know how this works.
Dylan, do you have any price targets for Archer that you'd be expecting over the next, let's say, 5 years?
5 years. Good question, Reese. 5 years. I would be the first number that pops in my head. I would be happy with $35. I'm not
absolutely, yeah.
On an entry point of getting in 5 years from now. I mean, it would be great to see Archer in the triple digits, in the hundreds. I think if Archer could get to a $50, and I would have to do the math on what that would mean for a market cap for Archer.
Yeah.
But 5 years, that would be almost doubling the growth each year. So that would almost be a double each year to get to 50. I'll take $38 and I'll be happy and keep investing on dips. But I'd like a. How about you?
No, it's very, very similar, really. It's like exactly how we started with Rocket Lab. We started off, we bought in probably around the $4 mark, and in our heads, the price target was always around that $40-ish dollars, and that was like probably the upper cap that we were saying would probably be on it. Obviously, every man and woman would always think triple digits, and who knows, like the Nvidia's quadruple digits. But if we could break that $30 to $40 mark, I'd be over the moon, really. And I do think it would just keep continuing up, very similar to the Rocket Lab.
What are we on about, Archer or Joby, or both?
Archer, we're discussing Archer on this one.
You're on about price targets?
Price targets, yes.
I'm sticking to it. I could put my neck on the line, but I really think I'm going to take more of a laid-back approach, and some people think I'm too bullish still, but I do think $20. I'm thinking by the end of the year. Joby, if we get commercialization, and if we can actually see a part, so there's a difference between being commercialized and then how they're actually gonna execute it. If they can tell us how they execute the path, I think Joby could be $25. I do think Joby will outtake Archer again. But no, I'm sticking $20 for Archer. I would be absolutely delighted if we got to 40. But I am sticking at $20.
I could see them staying neck and neck for a while though, until one of them does reach this type certification, and then I think that's when they'll get the nose in front, and then maybe
that's where
might get that Pepsi and Coke divide where one just pulls off and one still is ticking along. But Jesus, it'll be an interesting race to watch, I think.
I'd like to know a little bit more about their hydrogen product too. I think that could be a game changer when it comes to long distance travel in the eVTOL. But then, saying that, by the time they get that certified, is the battery technology just going to take off? Once Capital starts getting into this battery technology, I do think it will take off. Look, I'm not mad up on your batteries, but I think you pump enough money into anything, we can get it done.
100%.
Right, that felt good. We still have 21 in the chat. Guys, let me have a look.
Have you gifted them? You've gifted, have you? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've gifted 5. Now, I'm on and on. Will I gift another 5?
I'm going to have to shoot off now.
Yeah.
If that's calm.
What I'll do, everyone, make sure you like the stream. We're sitting at 15 likes at the moment. If we can get to 20 likes, I'll give away 5 more memberships.
And I think we owe you, Dylan, a big thank you for coming on. And it was good to put a face to the name. And let's fingers crossed that Archer and Joby are going to get to that $40 mark.
Well, that was the 5 year, but I will take on the upside. And for me, I'd love to see Archer and Joby climb together. But Reese, Liam, thank you so much for letting me join, and I'm sure I'll talk to you guys soon.
100%. And for everyone else in the stream, I want to say a big thank you for watching. Another good stream, Liam. I'm sure I'll be speaking to you very soon. But,
100%. So, guys, make sure, if you haven't, go to the Elon Musk video and watch that and tell me your thoughts on it below. I think that is the most smart video for all Archer and Joby investors.
Definitely.
Anyway, guys, Reese, same time next week, right?
100%.